strikeouts in a row. The Dodgers come in and swipe the home field advantage from the Atlanta Braves in Game 1. Yeah, that home field advantage the Braves had worked 6 months to get was taken away in the span of 3 hours and 24 minutes by Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in Game 1 of the National League Division Series. It is Choptober, as they call it, here in Atlanta. Tonight's 2013 National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. It's a best-of-5 series, and this is Game 2, the Dodgers and the Braves from Turner Field in Atlanta. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the playoffs on TBS. Along with Cal Ripken Jr. and Ron Darling, I'm Ernie Johnson. Dinner time start here in the East, so go ahead. You can eat in the den if you'd like to tonight. You look back at Game 1, Cal, some ugly stuff offensively by the Braves. 15 strikeouts, 2 for 17 with runners on. How does this team bounce back?
Yeah, it was an ugly game, but it's just a loss. That's all you have to say, whether it's you lose 1-0 or 15-0, it's just a loss. But what they need to do is concentrate on their execution. They did not execute very well yesterday, and these little things make a difference. Here's a sac fly, and the Uribe comes into and gets into scoring position. You can't let that happen. That causes this play to happen, and then there's the fly ball and a base running blunder here that takes them out of an inning. They might not have won the game yesterday against Kershaw, but that gives them a chance. So let's play a clean game and then see what happens.
I think Chris Medlin of the Braves put it best after the game. He said, look, we knew going up against Clayton Kershaw there was no room for error, and we had a lot of error. Meantime, the Dodgers up 1-0. Take me into the clubhouse.
Well, I don't think any game ever went more smoother for a first manager in his first postseason game than it did for Don Mattingly. His ace, Clayton Kershaw, struck out 12. Puig with some energy early in the game, gets them 2 runs, and their best hitter in the middle of that lineup, Adrian Gonzalez, always has a plan going into a game. He sat on a changeup in his second at-bat and a big 2-run home run. In these postseason games, you start to identify the best players, and he is one of the best players in baseball. 4 straight 100 RBI games, 6 for his last 11 in the postseason.
And today, Don Mattingly gives the ball to Zach Greinke, who was 15-4 in the regular season. Meantime, the Braves counter with Mike Minor, a young left-hander, 25 years old, 13-game winner, never been in the postseason. It's the biggest night of his life. The first pitch is next. Another picture-perfect night for baseball. Game 2 of the NLDS here in Atlanta. Clear skies, 80 degrees as the Braves take the field here at Turner Field. The left-hander Mike Minor trying to pull the Braves even against the Dodgers. Tonight's batting order brought to you by T-Mobile. Carl Crawford leading it off. Again, this is the same order as last night. Mark Ellis second, Ramirez third, Adrian Gonzalez, who went yard in the opener, hits cleanup. Puig in the 5-hole, then Juan Uribe. Skip Schumacher in center. The catcher is A.J. Ellis, who had a couple of doubles in the opener. And Zach Greinke is on the mound. Tell me about Mike Minor here, Ron.
Well, there's two keys to Mike Minor in this ball game. One, is he getting the inside fastball to the right-handed hitters? His home plate umpire Marvin Hudson calling those. And second, many first pitch swingers in that Dodgers lineup. He gave up 6 home runs on the first pitch this year. He'll have to be a little careful against the Dodger hitters.
Cal, the Atlanta defense.
All right, it's the same defense as yesterday, but I don't have to even say it. Evan Gaddis at left field, Jason Heyward and Justin Upton out in right field. And then you come into the infield, you got Chris Johnson and Freddie Freeman at the corners, Elliott Johnson second base, and a really super shortstop, and Drelton Simmons. Behind the plate is Brian McCann, and on the mound tonight is Mike Minor.
There's your Iron Man again trying to get out of work.
That's 2 nights in a row.
Man.
I'm searching for a shortcut.
They believe here in Atlanta. I tell you what, the Dodgers very businesslike win last night. Got the lead early, never gave it up, and took the home field advantage away.
Well, Kershaw was a big part of that. Tall lefty. You know, when you have your ace out there, everyone feels 2 inches taller and they play a little better.
There was Chris Medlin, the loser last night. He went 4+. Carl Crawford stepping in to lead it off in game 2. This place was absolutely jumping last night in the first inning, and Medlin struck out the side. Strike from Medlin, and we are underway here in Atlanta. Thanks for being with us here on TBS. Crawford was 1 out of 4 last night. Walked and scored a run. Tapper to first. Freeman with the toss. Minor with the putout. 1 down. So, Cal, you talked as we came on the air about just, okay, here's our mindset. 1 game, we lost, turn the page. How tough to do as a player?
No, I think it's a lot easier for them to do. You get in the clubhouse and you say, okay, it's 1 loss. If we win tonight, we're back even. So they do that each and every day for 162 ball games. Yes, the playoffs are more important and they feel more important, but you still come back to the fact is all we have to do is go play good baseball today and we get a chance to win and we're even.
Mark Ellis, Dodgers second baseman, waits on Minor. On the corner, 0-1.
No, adding to that too, playing good baseball. Sometimes the nerves have an effect, and I think Freddie Gonzalez said the nerves had a little effect in the first 3 innings last night. You're looking for a game now that, okay, I got it underneath me, and now things will be all right.
Well, think about it this way. Best home team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. Pittsburgh Pirates did it today on the road. Should be easier for the Braves.
Yeah, even that series in the NLDS with the St. Louis Cardinals, and now it goes back to Pittsburgh for a couple. Imagine, we saw Pittsburgh the other night. I can imagine what it's going to be like for games 3 and 4 of that series.
Yeah, that was a crazy environment. Loud. They waited a long time for that night.
I'm thinking there are probably a few stragglers who are still there at PNC Park. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count even.
And conversely to that, the Dodgers have to say, hey, let's get greedy. You know, we won last night's game. Let's take both of them here.
2-2 from Minor. Just missed in the count 4. And guys, you can go back to last year's NLDS and look at the San Francisco Giants at home losing the first 2 and then going to Cincinnati and winning 3 in a row. And back then, last year, the format was 2-3. It wasn't 2-2-1 like it is now. And on the other side, the Cardinals split at home and then went to Washington and won the series in 5 there. So that's got to be the Braves' outlook.
Well, that's the rational outlook. The emotional one, when you get all worked up inside, that's when you get in trouble.
Ball 4 to Mark Ellis. And a base runner here in the first.
Can I have a mulligan? I said there were 2 things that Minor had to worry about. First pitch home runs, throwing inside the right-handers getting the call. Well, his last 4 starts of this year, he gave up 7 runs in the first inning. So battling his nerves in the first inning has always been a problem.
We give mulligans here. Hit till you're happy.
I need a breakfast ball or a lunch ball, dinner ball.
Here's Hanley Ramirez with Ellis at first. Ramirez was 1 out of 5 last night. Had a run-scoring double. Didn't mean to, fouled it back. There you see the impressive regular season numbers for the Dodgers shortstop, who battled through injuries, and when he was healthy just carried this bunch. Second time this inning that McCann is going to confer with Minor.
That was really cool because he was looking down at first base, trying to block the vision, so the runner on first base could not see.
So he brings in that right leg.
Because many base runners will look in there and try to see what pitch, because if they pitch a breaking ball to run on, they get a little bit more time, a chance the ball goes in the dirt. So that's what they were doing, and that's what they were going to go out there and talk about.
Ramirez waiting on an 0-1.
So the most interesting part of that, he went out there, runner on first. They're using 3 signs now. They're picking a sign. That makes sure that Ellis cannot steal or give any kind of location or pitch to Ramirez or Gonzalez.
Now, did they communicate that to the shortstop and second baseman?
Well, they're not like you. You know, you demand those kind of things. Not everyone has to have that.
I needed that information to position myself.
For some guys, that's probably too much information, Cal.
I used to get so upset, said, hey, I can help you a whole lot better if I know what the pitch is coming. You know, pull me into this.
The sweat coming off of McCann here in the first inning.
It's a steamy afternoon here in Atlanta. And this 6 o'clock start time, going to be a few sunlight issues here and there, not major. The 0-2. That's Marvin Hudson calling the balls and strikes.
This gives you an idea from a hitter's perspective out there. The sunlight is hitting the backdrop, which makes it a little bit hard to see the ball because there's 2 different lighting conditions.
Ellis with the lead. Ramirez stays alive.
I always thought that was such a big factor in playoff baseball. Some of the odd starting times, we're going to get those on the West Coast where the game is played when it's very difficult to compete as a hitter. But tonight it should only be maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, you see the sun come in through a few of the portals here early in the evening, and at some point right around 7 o'clock there will be a little action around the first base bag. In the dirt, McCann with a good stop. There's just a little window of time there where it might be a little bit difficult for a first baseman to see a throw.
And I always thought the breaking ball or the off-speed pitch was the toughest one to pick up because you can track a fastball and you can almost time a fastball. But you really have to see the breaking ball and see the changeup. So if you have a good breaking ball early in the game, you'd want to go to that.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Hanley Ramirez. Down the right field line, and that ball is fair and rattles around in the corner. Ellis is around third. He's being waved. There will be no throw. as the relay is dropped and the Dodgers right away on the board, 1-0.
Here's a bullet down the right field line on a fastball away. Lines it down there. Now you got a potential play at home plate here. You're going to set up a double cutoff, and you go out. And the idea is to throw the ball up high so you can relay at the home plate. The throw is low on the short hop. Again, another little thing, but it doesn't give him a chance to catch the ball and relay it to the plate.
So Ramirez with his second run-scoring double of this series. He's out there with 1 out, and here's Gonzalez, who homered last night. To Johnson at third. Throws across for the out. 2 down with Ramirez advancing to third.
Here's Justin Upton's throw. He gets into the corner, gets the ball, delivers it really quickly. But again, the low throw, if you miss high and the double cutoff is spaced properly, the second person then has a relay opportunity.
Freddie Freeman was not in that position, though, so that would not have helped. Again, Cal, back to just the little tiny things that you can do in everyday baseball, but especially in postseason baseball.
They always matter, and they matter in the 162, but they show up a whole lot more in the playoffs.
Here's Yasiel Puig. Made his postseason debut, and it was impressive last night. Went 2 out of 4, scored a run. Was also hit by a pitch, but it was his aggressiveness and his hustle going first to third on that single to center field that jump-started the Dodger offense. And Minor ahead 0-2. Now in BP today, that sounded far. Watch this. Hits the railing out there. That's a poke.
He's honestly putting a display on like his hitting coach Mark McGuire used to in his day.
Now when it counts, he waits on an 0-2. Way upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes. Wouldn't chase.
I'm trying to guess how long that batting practice homer was.
Segs says it was 472.
472.
Well, either he walked it off or he did his math thing from last night. Count even 2-2. Again, McCann scrambling to keep it in front.
We'll take Segs' math skills and we'll bring them over there to Georgia Tech. Make sure they're really sound.
He'll be thrown off campus. Puig had great numbers among rookies. Number 1, hitting .319. He was 3rd in homers and number 5 in RBIs in 104 games. High chopper off the plate. Freeman will win the race to the bag. The Dodgers get on the board in the first. We head to the bottom half in Atlanta. The bottom half of the first, game 2 of the NLDS, and the Dodgers scoring in their half. Here's the batting order brought to you by T-Mobile. Jason Heyward, Justin Upton, Freddie Freeman, 1, 2, 3. Evan Gattis in the cleanup spot. Then it's Brian McCann, Chris Johnson, who knocked in the only Atlanta run in the opener. Hamilton Simmons at short. Elliott Johnson, the second baseman, hits 8th. And Mike Kleiner, the pitcher, batting 9th against Zach Greinke.
Ever since Greinke came over to the Dodgers, it's been a really healthy competition with fellow Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw. They battle each other on the mound, see who can get the most wins. One short for Greinke, and also battle each other who gets the most hits.
Jason Heyward leads it off. Takes down low 1-0, 15-4 with a 2.63 ERA in his 28 starts. Heyward was 1 out of 4 with 2 strikeouts in the opener.
Heyward's a different kind of hitter. He's a guy that hits the ball at the ballpark. 2-0, leading off the game. You take a pitch here?
No.
Okay.
He heard you. Couple of hops to second. Ellis throws him out, 1 down. We mentioned Craig Sager and his math skills. Let's have our first report from Sags, Craig.
Players' aggressive hitting styles are both their strength and their weakness. Thus, they lead the league in home runs as well as strikeouts. The theme at today's hitters meeting, conducted by Greg Walker, the hitting coach: attack Greinke early. Use it to our strength. He's a fastball pitcher who tries to get ahead of the count. Go after him. Attack. Just don't chase one that's above the zone or outside the plate. Now, listen, you have about 29 thousandths of a second to make up your mind, which isn't a whole lot. But they said to go after that first pitch, as we saw right there.
And Upton sends it into foul territory. 0-1.
As it always is with Sager, impeccable timing.
Yes, exactly. And what was it, 29 thousandths of a second to react, make up your mind. You know, one thing, as we look at Freddie Gonzalez, the game played out, I mean, in terms of their approach to Clayton Kershaw last night, like he wanted it. They got his pitch count up a little bit. They could just never really break through against him.
Well, they had 77 pitches Kershaw did after 4 innings. So they were working him. Mostly it was Kershaw's lack of fastball command. But still, they had his pitch count high. But then he turned it into supercharge. And that was it in the 6th and 7th inning.
Yeah, had that streak of 6 consecutive strikeouts. En route to striking out 12, and the Dodgers struck out 15 Braves overall. A ball and 2 strikes to Justin Upton.
You know, there's an individual plan that each hitter has because they hit a little bit differently, and then there's the team collective plan. And it is good. Greinke owns the outside half, makes good pitches on there, and as a hitter, you got to say, okay, do I try to drive this ball, or do I take what the pitcher gives me in that aggressive fashion? I like the idea that they're going to be aggressive on that first pitch with Greinke.
Upton's hit well against Greinke in his career. That's also foul. 429 clipped, 6 for 14 with a couple of home runs.
Then I wouldn't tell him to change anything. Don't change it.
Yeah.
Do what you've been doing all the other time. I'll talk to the other guys about our team plan. That's some big numbers and a good sample size too.
Greinke ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. 2 up and 2 down.
I don't know about you, but last night and tonight, every close pitch has gone the Dodgers' way. Whether you think that's on the corner or not, every check swing has been against the Braves. So far, they have been hitting their spots, or at least getting the close calls.
I know the pitchers would call that a perfect pitch. I'd say that's just a little outside.
We can agree to disagree.
Freddie Freeman, who likes to swing at that first pitch, fouls that one back, 0-1. Freeman's 1 for 5 against Greinke.
Greinke's got the full arsenal. He'll throw fastball, he'll sink it, he'll cut it. He's got a great slider, curveball, overhand curveball, slow curveball, and changeup.
In the air to left, and that'll be routine for Carl Crawford, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Greinke. We head to the second. Who does John Smoltz think will win the 2013 Cy Young Awards? Watch an all-new Behind the Mic powered by Ford at BleacherReport.com/Behind the Mic, and you'll find out.
I thought you were asking me that question.
Who do you think John's going to pick? Oh, it's getting way too involved. Juan Uribe leads it off in the second.
A lot of first pitch swinging on both sides.
Didn't quite get the bat hit out on that one.
Uribe picked up a hit in the opener, scored a run, laid down a sacrifice bunt. That was just a good all-around offensive effort by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Double-digit hits, hits with 2 outs. In short, they executed where Atlanta did not.
That key home run, sitting on that first pitch changeup, really gave them the breathing room that Clayton needed.
The 1-2 from Minor in the dirt. We talked about the way the sun might come in and out and factor into play right now. I'm looking at Andrelton Simmons at short, and you can see at some point there's the sun right on him at this point, and at some point over at first it'll hit Freddie Freeman, and look at Uribe just reach out and serve that into right for a leadoff single here in the second.
Well, it might not be pretty, Cal, but it's a 2-strike approach, and it's trying to put the ball in play.
That's the benefit of making contact with 2 strikes. You want to be in a position to do damage if they hang the pitch. This was a pitch that he couldn't take. got the bat head to the ball and rewarded with a single.
Now here's Skip Schumacher. Pressed into duty as the starting center fielder in this series. And takes a strike 0-1. That's because Matt Kemp is out and won't play in the postseason. And because Andre Ethier, while he can swing the bat and did pinch hit last night, can't really do much more than run in a straight line with left ankle issues. But Schumacher's played it before. And he grounds one up the middle. That should be 2, and it is 4-6-3.
So here's some good execution for you. A nice flip and throw, and Freddie Freeman does a nice job of staying on the bag. Throw was just a little bit up the line. But in the big leagues, that should be a double play every single time.
And that brings up A.J. Ellis, the Dodger catcher, number 8 hitter, who takes a strike and had a big night last night, couple of doubles. It was his double past Evan Gattis, who missed it on a dive that scored a run. It was that whole snowball effect, really, of the things you talked about, Cal, in that rally when Jason Heyward missed the cutoff man, and there wasn't a big issue, I don't think, on the Braves' part with him trying to throw home. It's just that throw sailed over the cutoff man, allowed Uribe to get to second, and then Gattis with the dive couldn't come up with it, and Uribe scored.
We'll never know if he would have played it the same way if he would have been on first as opposed to second.
The 0-2 just misses. Ball and 2 strikes.
You hear the crowd going crazy. They figure that's the same pitch that was thrown to Upton by Greinke.
I'm sure somebody's yelling that out right now.
Right.
He checked his swing. And John Hirschbeck at first confirmed it.
I'm a hitter. He didn't swing.
I agree with you on that. He held it back.
And somewhere, planets just collided. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitcher siding with the hitter on a check swing. Glad I was here to experience it. On the ground and into left field. Ellis has his 3rd hit of the series. And that keeps Zach Greinke from leading off the next inning. 2-out single.
Just out of the reach of Johnson.
Now the Dodgers have some pitchers who can handle the bat. Last night you had Clayton Kershaw, who had 10 RBIs. No pitcher had more. And now you got Zach Greinke, who's got 19 hits this season. No pitcher has more. That's a .328 clip, 19 for 58, and he's knocked in 4 runs. So don't sleep on him.
And that's a big play. 0-2, then coming back to 3-2. After you get that double play, you got to put him away.
Yeah.
Get off the field and have Greinke leading off.
Well, he thought he did with the pitch. He thought he did with the check swing. Neither of them worked.
Greinke's 6 out of 12 against lefties this year. Ball and a strike to the Dodger pitcher.
That's a fine line when you pitch ahead in 0-2. You want to actually make a pitch that will get him out. But you don't want to give him too good a pitch on 0-2. And many times pitchers make that mistake by pitching a little defensively. Go get him out. That's the time when the hitter is at he's most vulnerable. 0-2.
Really want to bury the 8th place hitters because you just want to have that next inning let off with the pitcher, even despite the great record of Greinke this year.
That stat was pretty interesting. They put up just a minute ago. He hasn't always been a good hitter. He's worked on it. 143 in 2011. He hit 212, got over the 200 standpoint. This year he decided I'll just hit 300. What's so hard about that?
Takes a strike, 1-2.
Remember, spent the early part of his career in Kansas City, then started in the National League with Milwaukee, went to the Angels for a while, now back in the National League, so he's gotten a few at-bats under his belt.
Bounced it up there. Ella's not going anywhere, 2-2.
He's a good athlete, gets off the mound, fields his position well. He's a good all-around athlete.
Good job by Brian McCann there, right? Both catchers have been great in these couple of games.
He's had to bounce around back there early in this one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this will be pitch number 40 for Mike Minor. Here in the top half of the second, Greinke sends it to the gap in right center field, but Heyward has it covered for the 3rd out. We head to the bottom half of the second in Atlanta. MLB Fan Cave is coming back in 2014. Players, celebrities, concerts, and more. And you can be part of next season's team. All you got to do is go to MLBFancave.com and apply right now. Leading it off here in the bottom of the second, cleanup hitter Evan Gattis, who became the only rookie to start as the cleanup hitter in postseason history for the Braves last night in Game 1. He was also the only guy who did not strike out in that Atlanta lineup.
He had good at-bats last night. Hanley Ramirez made a nice play on him in a dive. Took a hit away from him. But he swung the bat good.
He was 1 out of 2 and a couple of walks. The 0-1 from Greinke. Breaking ball lined in the left. There's the first Atlanta hit.
And this is a 69-mile-an-hour breaking ball that you got to wait a long time to hit a 69. He's all over it. Line drive to left field. It's almost like a blooper pitch.
You know, coming into this season, postseason, Greinke's 1-1 with a 6.48. A lot of the hits he's given up has been on that slow curve. He loves to throw that pitch.
Here's the catcher, Brian McCann. And the Dodgers shift. Uribe, the third baseman, stays put. Hanley Ramirez right behind the bag at second. So it's not a drastic shift with a runner at first, but they know that McCann will pull the ball.
And sometimes, as we found out last night, that Hanley switches with Uribe.
And we welcome you on TBS to Game 2 of the National League Division Series. You've been watching the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League Division Series. And the Los Angeles Dodgers with a run in the first, out to a 1-0 lead. Mark Ellis walked, came around to score on Hanley Ramirez double into the right field corner. Zach Greinke is on the hill for the Dodgers, facing Mike Minor. And the Braves' Evan Gattis, who started the second inning with a single, is now at second after Brian McCann's bounce out to first. And Chris Johnson takes a strike. Ronnie, you talked about Greinke and his travels and the time he spent in Kansas City. His playoff experience comes as a member of the Milwaukee Brewers in 2011, and he was the piece that the Angels thought they needed in 2012 to go along with all their offensive talent. But that was a major disappointment in Anaheim in 2012. They missed the postseason. Then he signed this big contract with the Dodgers, 6 years, $147 million.
That was a good example of his control of the outside corner. That 0-1 pitch, that's an almost unhittable pitch, but it's a strike.
Gattis edges from second, and Greinke delivers low and away. The ball and 2 strikes to Chris Johnson, who was in a battle with Michael Kadire for the National League batting title this year and went right down to the final week. He wound up hitting .321, Kadire .331. He knocked in the lone Braves run in the opener last night. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a variation of the hard breaking ball. That's an 84-mile-an-hour breaking ball designed to look like a fastball and get you to swing outside the strike zone.
Dodger pitching coach Rick Honeycutt, you saw there. Braves falling 6-1 in the opener and trailing 1-0 early here in Game 2. But the tying run out there at second.
Well, Johnson's probably the best, second best pure hitter on this team. He can hit to all fields, right field, center, or left. Freeman probably being their most natural hitter. And that's the reason he hit .321 this season.
The 2-2. And Johnson goes down swinging, second strikeout by Greinke. And there are 2 down here in the second.
Craig Sager was talking about they have to lay off the high fastball from Greinke. Puts a little extra on it and gets it by Johnson.
No signs that was by design that went up in the strike zone. You're sitting on the outside edge. He just elevated the ball, trying to hit that outside corner.
Kind of overthrew it. That's what he did.
Definitely was a little harder, though.
They're Honeycutt and bench coach Trey Hillman, the former Royals manager. And there is manager Don Mattingly, now postseason game number 2 for him. Greinke on the staff when Hillman managing Kansas City Royals. Andrelton Simmons had a good cut, followed it straight back 0-1. Simmons was 1 for 3 last night, struck out a couple of times and walked. 4th toughest to strike out in the National League, but the Dodgers got him a couple of times last night. In that game, Kershaw wobbled a little bit, didn't have his greatest stuff, and then had his greatest stuff and was untouchable.
It's like 2 different games for Kershaw.
I know he made a heck of a pitch on a 3-2 slider to Simmons. It was really a turning point in that game.
It really was.
It felt like the Braves had a chance to get back in, had him on the ropes a little. Then after that, he just turned nasty.
Gaddis with the lead at second. Simmons in the air to right. Puig goes back and will not get it. Ball is off the wall. Gaddis scores, and Simmons at second with a run-scoring double. It's tied 1-1.
Again, trying to hit the outside corner, elevates it just a little bit, gets a big part of the plate, with some nice hitting, driving the ball over Puig's head in right field to get him even.
The difference is Simmons is a high ball, fastball hitter, so that's really to his strength.
Now here's Elliott Johnson, the Braves' number 8 hitter, swinging at the first pitch. And a routine fly ball to center field. Schumacher makes the play, and that retires the side, but the Braves pull even. Run-scoring double by Simmons, and we head to the 3rd. Every day, our servicemen and women dedicate their lives to protecting our freedom. Please join Bank of America in thanking our troops by using #TroopThanks. When you do, Bank of America will donate $1 up to $1 million to Wounded Warrior Project. And welcome back, veterans. What a great initiative. Top half of the third inning and the top of the Dodger order. Carl Crawford, who grounded to Freeman his first time. And there's a line single to start the third.
Well, that fastball just split the heart of the plate. Nice short stroke from Crawford. Braves are in a precarious place here. You know, they just got a big, huge hit, tied the game up, 2-out RBI. You know, we talk about shutdown innings. Some are more important than others. I think this is one for the Braves, and Minor was the best on the Braves staff. 2.60 ERA.
He is making his first postseason start. Is Mike Minor, went 13-9 in 32 starts. The first 22, 11-5, ERA of 2.75. The last 10, 2-4, with an ERA of 4.3, and he went 0-4 in September. In tight to Mark Ellis. Ball and a strike. Ellis walked his first time and scored the only Dodger run when Ramirez doubled into the right field corner.
If you're wondering if he holds runners pretty well, he didn't used to. Well, actually, the opposite. 83% in 2012. This year, only 33% success rate. Well, let me take my glasses off and let me read that again. Yep, but the opponent's stolen base success rate in 2012, it was as high as 83%.
Yeah.
So he wasn't holding anybody on. In 2013, he's held them on a whole lot better. How's that?
Try something other. Want to wear a batting helmet? Want to take your glasses off, put them on, whatever. It's very clear now. Minor's 25. Played some college ball at Vanderbilt. He's on the same staff as David Price. That'd be fun if you were in the SEC and going to Nashville for a weekend. Face Price, face Minor.
We've got 3 Vanderbilt pitchers, right, in the postseason with David Price, Mike Minor, and Sonny Gray, and Pedro Alvarez for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So Vanderbilt
well represented. Minor was actually called up, made his big league debut when Chris Medlin, last night's starter, had Tommy John surgery in 2010. Out of play over the Braves dugout.
I think this is a hitter that you can send Crawford on, can't you? Mark Ellis is done, not a strikeout guy, contact guy.
You got to be careful with the left-handed move, especially if he has a good move. You don't want to get picked off, but you do want to start the runner. Any ground ball then would advance you into scoring position.
Crawford on the move, rounded to short. They get to fourth, and they get 2. 6-4-3, and that was smooth.
That was really good execution. Now, Crawford did wait a little too long. Even with his speed, he couldn't get down there. But a great heads-up play by Simmons to catch it and get the ball to the back of the bag that gives Johnson some protection to be able to turn that ball. Great execution right there. Good double play work. Big, too.
So nobody on, 2 down now for Hanley Ramirez.
Simmons sure doesn't handle himself like a young shortstop, does he? Makes a lot of great decisions.
He's poised, makes things look easy. Delivered a nice throw there. Again, the back of the bag gives all the freedom to the second baseman because the runner is already on you.
Ball and a strike to Ramirez. Yet just turned 24 in September, did Simmons, and was really from the day he came up, was just so smooth in handling the job at short. Then he got hurt last year. Paul Janich was brought in to fill in for a while. You saw him featured in Sports Illustrated a couple of weeks back as being the best shortstop in baseball, and may very well be. On the ground to third, Chris Johnson to Freeman. Middle of the third in game 2. Tied up. TV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Some great shots from the blimp on a crystal clear October night in Atlanta. And we're in the bottom half of the third. Braves pitcher Mike Minor leads it off against Greinke and takes a strike. 0-1. Minor's got a home run. 6 RBIs. We talked about Greinke improving at the plate. Minor had no RBIs in his first 109 at bats, has 6 in his last 44.
It can be such an advantage to have a good hitting pitcher. Why don't they work on that more? I mean, is it just because they're afraid of the injury?
Gonzalez will wave off Greinke and take it himself.
A lot of it's time management, Cal. You know, the hitters want to be in that cage. When you get on the field, you only have so many coaches to throw batting practice. It's really hard to find your time. Most National League pitchers have a lot of time to hit at home. And they'll hit, you know, you'll take 20, 25 swings. Sometimes it's pitchers trying to work on their skills. Sometimes it's a home run hitting contest with no home runs.
So are some organizations philosophically more aggressive at getting their pitchers more at bats and bunting and slash bunting, because they're all weapons?
Yeah, I think some are. You know, mastering that ninth slot with your pitchers, getting better, makes you more of an elite team.
Top of the Atlanta order now, and Jason Heyward, who grounded out to second his first time.
Well, the young Garrett Cole was outstanding for the Pirates today. He had a hit and an RBI in the game. So such an advantage when your pitcher can handle the bat in any situation.
Big stage for Garrett Cole today, first postseason start with his team down 1-0 to none, and he sends it back to Pittsburgh tied up in a game apiece. Full day of baseball today. With that Pirate game, the first one played, and then the Red Sox, after falling behind 2-0, beating the Rays 12-2. You have game 2 of this series, and later tonight here on TBS you got Detroit and Oakland in game 1 of their ALDS series.
The Rays were left at a little disadvantage. 4 cities in 6 days. They were doing laundry the last couple of days, not able to get ready for today's game. What a tough schedule.
It's the Tampa Bay World Tour 2013. This was the first stumble along the way. On the ground to third. Uribe throws him out. 2 up, 2 down. Core Performers brought to you by iShares by BlackRock. As you see, Uribe and Freddie Freeman, Justin Upton. Upton the number 2 hitter and Freeman the number 3, and combined 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts so far in this best-of-5 series.
That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. They need to get it going to score some runs, though.
For more, go to BleacherReport.com/Core Performers. Upton took a called third strike his first time, and that's right back at Greinke. You talk about being an athlete and fielding your position. Take a look at that. 3 up, 3 down in the third. MLB Network is your home for another Division Series game Monday. Got the A's and the Tigers from Comerica at 1 o'clock on Monday. Catch live coverage before and after every postseason game only on MLB Tonight. Check local listings or go to MLBnetwork.com for game time and channel number. Dodgers cleanup hitter Adrian Gonzalez leads it off here in the fourth against Mike Minor. Game tied at 1. Gonzalez grounded out the third his first time after going 2 for 5 with a homer. Knocked in a couple of runs in the opener. Right on the screws again. Surprise, surprise. Upton will cut it off in the gap and hustle it in and hold Gonzalez to a single. It's time for In the Dugout, brought to you by Charles Schwab. Craig Sager is with a Dodger legend. Craig.
Well, thanks, EJ. He's already in the Hall of Fame, but Tommy Lasorda's role as baseball's greatest ambassador and special advisor to the Dodgers continues. You look at this team, they were 30-42 at one point, looking like they're going nowhere. What turned things around?
Well, a lot of the guys were hurt earlier in the year, and then we brought up the outfield of Quigg, and he just inspired everybody. He ignited a fire, and they got hot. He's just done everything there is to ask of a guy coming up from the minor league.
53 years of the Dodgers organization, 20 consecutive.
63.
Pardon me.
63.
Yes, sir. The math was wrong that time. And 20 of them as a manager, 4 World Series. You won 2 of them. How differently did you have to manage in the postseason?
Well, you can't manage like you do all year, that's for sure. You got to manage game for game. Each game means everything. So finally, you got to play the game like there's no tomorrow.
Well, congratulations, 63 years and counting. Let's go back up to you guys.
Thank you, Sags. Thank you, Tommy. One of a kind. Yasiel Puig takes. It's 1-2. Lasorda was talking about Zach Greinke. He was asked about, because Greinke doesn't reveal a whole lot. Not great in like press conference settings, very reticent. And he was asked, Lasorda was, what kind of conversations do you have with Zach? He said, one way.
I would have to say most of Tommy's conversations were one way.
A ball and 2 strikes to Puig, who takes strike 3 called, 1 down here in the fourth.
Well, that's the pitch we talked about before the game. Is he going to get that fastball on the inside corner? It's such a huge part of his game, and on the pitch tracks, it shows it to be inside.
It's got a little comeback to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Starts inside, the hitter thinks it's way inside, comes back to the plate.
Here's Juan Uribe. He singled his first time and was erased in a double play. Gonzalez has no lead virtually at first. That's fouled off down the right side.
Jason Heyward out in center field. From this standpoint, looks like he's playing real deep. Protecting against the double, which also opens you up to a ground ball up the middle where you go first to third, just like what Yasiel Puig did yesterday.
Or a blue pitch, because there's a lot of room out there. Uribe's the wild card in this Dodgers lineup because there's no real book on how to get him out.
Broke his bat, and in left center, Heyward hauls it in.
One step back, and then that good speed in to call the play.
Center field is the guy that's in charge out there.
Yep.
And if you do it really, really right, he's the only one that needs to call off the other 2. Many times you'll still see guys call it from each corner, and then they'll run into each other because they call it at the same time.
Here's Skip Schumacher. Right back to Minor. in the middle of the fourth in Atlanta. Game 2 of the NLDS. It's 1-1. Dodgers and Braves. Game is just the start of the story. Unguarded with Rachel Nichols premieres Friday night, October 25th, 10:30 Eastern on CNN. Been great having Rachel with us for the better part of a year now at Turner Sports, CNN. Look forward to Unguarded when it makes its debut. Bottom half of the fourth inning in a tie game, 1-1. 3-4-5 coming to the plate for the Braves against Zach Greinke. Here's Freddie Freeman.
One thing that Greinke hasn't got going yet is that good overhand curveball for a strike. That was the last pitch to come for Kershaw last night.
Held up 2-0. Braves haven't led in this series yet, and they fell behind 1-0 in this one before tying things up with a run in the second. Evan Gattis with a single, Andrelton Simmons with a big 2-out run scoring double, and that ball is drilled to right off the wall on a hop. Freeman will round. Watch the arm on Puig. It's a double to lead it off in the fourth for Freddie Freeman.
Pitch right down the middle, hit a rocket, got to the wall really quickly, and because of Puig's arm, you got a potential play. You got to run hard all the way through there. Throws a little offline. Looks like he might have beat it anyway. Greinke in a good position to back up.
And in this ballpark now, it sounds like it did last night in the first inning.
Here's Evan Gaddis. Gaddis singled his first time. Go ahead.
No, in our meeting with Freddie Gonzalez, we were talking about, does the strikeouts bother you? He says there's times for productive outs. And they had a productive out from McCann early on by swinging and moved Gaddis to second base, which ultimately led to a run. Here'd be a good time to get the runner over.
Well, again, Cal, goes right back to your execution. Can the Braves execute tonight the way they have for most of the season to get to 96 wins?
Here's a situation. You take the bat out of Gaddis' hands right now and say, okay, it's 2-0. You've been swinging the bat really well. Drive that run in. Or am I going to try to drive the run in by trying to hit a ball to right field?
I want him putting 2 runs on the board if he can.
He had a home run cut, came up empty. 2-1. Gaddis homered 21 times in the regular season. His rookie season, knocked in 65 runs. And went 1 for 2 in the opener.
There's some really strong numbers for only about 350 at-bats.
It's the man that they nicknamed El Oso Blanco, the White Bear, when he played winter ball in Venezuela last year. Has overcome some personal demons to return to baseball with a flourish here in 2013. Count even 2-2.
So now here's a time to actually put the ball in play. Try to cut down on your swing and, if you can, get a runner over. You got 2 strikes. Cut down on your swing. Don't go for the long ball right now. This is an opportunity for that productive out. Put a little pressure on the Dodgers and Zach Greinke by getting the guy to third with less than 2 out.
Ramirez sneaking in behind Freeman at second. And now he retreats. On the ground to third. Uribe, it's a foul ball. Tim Welke over there signaled foul when the ball bounced away at first. Fans here got excited for just a second, but it's 2-2. And you saw Welke make the demonstrative foul call at third.
Not an easy call because of the height of that ball.
Yeah, and the ball bounced right near home plate. Pretty good in fair territory. So again, that was an example to draw a line, a straight line from the ball mark to where he caught it. Had a chance to go over the bag.
Haven't seen one fastball in from Greinke yet.
Breaking pitch to third. Uribe throws across. Freeman has to hold at second. He'll stay there now with 1 down.
Got away with that pitch.
He did get away with that pitch, but it works. It worked because Gaddis wasn't able to cover it, and the only place you can hit this pitch is to pull it, and he kind of hit on top of that ball.
It was that same big humpback curveball that he lined for a hit his first time.
So he wasn't really looking for it. I think it was one of those that you can see and then just adjust to. He looks like he sees that pitch pretty well. And the fact that he hung it a little too much almost tied him up.
So with Freeman still at second, here's Brian McCann with 1 out. Another 20 home run season for Brian McCann. Knocked in 57. Went 0-for-3 with a strikeout in the opener.
He had a couple of good at-bats, though, especially the one to drive to left field that just stayed in play. Fine play by Crawford.
Yeah, he took him to the track, leaning up against the wall. Ball and a strike tonight. He has tapped to Gonzalez.
Good 2-seam sinker right there.
He's got all the pitches. He's an artist out there at turning it over, cutting it, giving you a little different look with every pitch.
2 balls and a strike to the Atlanta catcher. Our Chevrolet arsenal for Greinke.
Changeup he'll use occasionally against the left-handed hitter, but that fastball command is what directs his pitching.
Tried to paint the corner and missed 3-1. Fouled off at the plate. Count even, or full count, 3-2.
Interesting pitching there by Greinke. Not giving in to McCann. Going back with a little sinking fastball. Keeping it down.
Take a little off of that pitch,
yeah.
but it's the break of the pitch that fools the hitter. Sinker about 88 to 90 miles an hour. Fastball, his four-seamer up around 94.
Freeman leads from second. McCann waits on a 3-2. Grounded to second. Ellis playing in shallow right, throws him out. Freeman advances to third, but now 2 down.
Well, it gets to the point, doesn't it? If you are a pull left-handed hitter, doesn't matter how hard you hit the ball to the right side on the ground, you're never going to get a hit the rest of your career.
I think the successful hitter doesn't really worry about where the ball goes. I want to hit the ball hard, and we'll take our chances.
It's always got to be a little awkward, even for the veteran Ellis, when you have to wait for the ball that long.
Here's Chris Johnson. It was a 2-out RBI single in the 4th last night by Johnson that got the only Atlanta run home, and in a tie game he has a chance to give Atlanta the lead here in the 4th. Greinke with pitch number 50 right here.
Got the right guy at the plate. 390, 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Many hitters have the ability just to elevate that focus when they have somebody in scoring position. 390, wow.
Greinke has struck out 2. Johnson one of them in the 2nd. The 1-1. Breaking pitch missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Go ahead run 90 feet away. It's Freddie Freeman who started the inning with a double.
It's the constant battle, isn't it? You have a hitter up who knows what to do with 2 outs and runners in scoring position against a pitcher who has a great ERA, so you know he's getting those tough outs with 2 outs.
Good cut, but it's 2-2.
It kind of messes with your thinking as a hitter. When you have first base open and you know that there's no real pressure for him to come after you, you don't know what you're going to get. 1-1 was a slow curveball. 2-1 was a harder curveball. So now you say, okay, am I going to get that outside fastball? Is he going to sink it? There's a lot of options going through your mind right now, and there's not a lot of urgency to necessarily throw him a good pitch to hit.
On the ground and into left field, and the Braves have the lead. Chris Johnson delivers a 2-out RBI single, and it's 2-1.
I know this was a breaking ball. Looks like the slow variety. The curveball that he got away with Gaddis, but not right here. Base hit in the hole. Easily scores Freeman.
For a team that struck out 15 times last night, to put a ball in play with 2 strikes, something good might happen.
So for the second straight night, it's Johnson with a 2-out RBI. And this one gives the Braves their first lead of the series. Here's Andrelton Simmons. It was his double in the second that tied the game when he knocked in Gaddis.
Nothing's coming easy for Greinke in this game. He's working awfully hard, almost overthrowing at times, it seems. Maybe that's why A.J. Ellis is out there.
Greinke's been lights out since the end of July. 7-1. ERA about $1.50.
Those times Mattingly talking, trying to think about what will happen if Greinke can't get straightened out here.
2-0. Tap to short. Ramirez will go the short way for the force. But here in the fourth, the Braves take the lead. It's 2-1 as we head to the fifth. Nothing quite like grass, dirt, and water in super slow. Going to the fifth inning. Mike Minor goes to work against the Dodgers catcher A.J. Ellis. Braves on top 2-1. and trailing in the series 1-0. Well, thanks for being with us tonight here on TBS. Ellis singled his first time. He's had a hot bat in this series. Had 2 doubles in the opener.
2 fastballs right there taken by the catcher Ellis.
Ran it inside, almost hit him. 1-2.
It's really been the difference between both pitchers, hasn't it? Is that Minor has pitched the hitters inside, and Greinke has not, especially the right-handers.
And there is strikeout number 2 for Mike Minor. 1 out here in the 5th. Time for In the Dugout, brought to you by Charles Schwab. Moments ago, actually a little bit earlier, this was Craig Sager.
Legendary manager Bobby Cox back in the Braves dugout with the honor of the ceremonial first pitch. And Bobby, first division title in 8 years for this team. What do you like about them?
Well, we're very proud of them, to be honest with you. I like a lot about them. They're pretty similar to some of the teams we had when our young pitchers were coming through, and we've got a lot of young pitchers on this team doing very well. And Roger McDowell does a great job with them, and Freddie Gonzalez has done a stellar job this season. And to win 96 games with the problems that this club endured during the season is just amazing to me. We do need to score more than 1 run, so maybe we can pull out one here before we head to Los Angeles.
You took a lot of young teams, a lot of young players. You molded them, 14 division titles. Can this team be built for that sustainability?
We've always had a good farm system, and I was lucky all through my career here. We had good ball teams, and I think Frank Wren right now is putting a pretty darn good team on the field every year since he's taken over from John Sherholtz. So, yeah, we don't have the budgets of some of the teams, certainly not the budget that the Dodgers are playing with right now. But, if you have a good farm system, you can keep going.
Great to see you. And Ernie, as you can tell, he's as popular as ever.
Thank you very much, Craig. Always good to see Bobby. And there's no truth to the rumor that Marvin Hudson ejected him after he threw out the ceremonial first pitch. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th. You saw Greinke fly out to left, and that's the top of the order now with Carl Crawford, who is 1 out of 2. Singled in the 3rd, but was erased in a double play. Braves have turned a couple in this game, which they lead 2-1. And quickly Minor ahead 0-2.
0-2 on Ellis, 0-2 on Crawford. Minor in the groove.
Two strikeouts in the inning. Middle of the 5th. Atlanta 2-1. Tonight's 2013 National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Atlanta by night. Friday night in the Deep South, and game 2 of this best of 5. Braves trying to tie things up at a game apiece, and they lead 2-1 as Elliott Johnson, the number 8 hitter, leads it off. He's looking for his first hit of the series. Was 0 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts. Flied out to center his first time tonight. And you guys tell me, and we've talked a lot about Dan Uggla being left off of the postseason roster. Does that intensify the pressure for a guy like Elliott Johnson, who Freddie Gonzalez has said, I want to see him, you know, he's given us some good work at second. I want to see him in there starting. And if you're Elliott Johnson, how you feeling?
I would think he's feeling a little bit of pressure. You know, even though you're a professional, you know you can play at this level, you've proven yourself all the way through, and all of a sudden you're thrown into this role at the end. It has to make you feel a little uncomfortable, and you want to prove that you can do something. So, yeah, I think it's a little unfair to him.
Into center field, but Schumacher's right there for the first out of the 5th.
You know, you punch out 3 times in your first game. You know, you start to feel that pressure. I think that's why he attempted the bunt on that first pitch, try to get on the board.
Not only that, you had a play made. It wasn't ruled an error last night, a hot shot, but immediately, if he picks up the paper in the morning and folks are saying that's a play that Dan Uggla probably makes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's the part that's not fair to him. You know, to judge him on who he is as a player, right?
Here's Mike Minor.
Look at it this way. If you're Elliott Johnson, you're a guy that was released by the Kansas City Royals. This is what an opportunity to try to do something in the postseason.
Minor to the gap in right center field. Puig on his horse makes the play.
I missed the horse.
The wild horse on his. 2 down.
He was flying, though.
Well, Minor, who has a home run this season, good cut, but making like a wide receiver. Puig makes that play look easy.
That ball didn't have quite the juice that the Simmons double did earlier in the game that Puig couldn't catch up to. So 2 up and 2 down. And here's Heyward in the top of the order. He's 0 for 2. And is now 1 for 6 in the series with a couple of strikeouts. He's grounded out to second and third tonight.
It's the biggest difference pitching in the National League as opposed to the American League. You can get down where you have 8, 9, and 1. If you take care of business with 8 and 9, you can almost get yourself an easy inning. That's something you'd never get in the American League.
There's that curveball again. That one all the way up to 72 miles an hour.
That was almost a hard curveball. But he normally can get that pitch over, and he's fighting because that's a strike pitch, not an out pitch. It's the one that gets them 2 strikes.
And the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Still trying to find it, though.
I know what you're saying, Cal. On a 1-1 count for a pitcher like Greinke, if he's getting that curveball over, it's almost an automatic 1-2 count.
It's a take.
Yeah, and you take it as a hitter, and it gets you ahead in the count.
Coming inside right now.
A bullet just foul.
Shows you how quick he is inside. With 2 strikes, you're going to wait a little longer to recognize the pitch, but man, he get the bat through the zone.
John Perspeck with the fancy footwork down there. First base umpire. The 2-2 with 2 out. Justin Upton on deck if Freeman should reach. or Heyward, excuse me, should reach.
Think along with him now. Do you two-seam him, sinker away, you go with a riding fastball? Probably will be away.
A little change up.
Straight change.
Fouled off at the plate, and Heyward stays alive.
Difference in the two pitchers tonight. Minor could not put the hitters away early. A lot of 0-2 counts went to 3-2 counts. Well, Greinke has not been able to put hitters away all night long, and Minor has now the last 2 innings.
Braves struck out 15 times in the opener. Greinke has 2 strikeouts as he pitches here in the 5th. Greinke has 3 as he finishes the 5th. 5 innings in the books. Braves on top 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Here at Turner Field, we are zipping right along, top half of the 6th. In Game 2 of the National League Division Series between the Dodgers and Braves. Dodgers took the first game 6-1. Braves lead Game 2 2-1. Game 3 Sunday in Los Angeles.
Mike is really in a rhythm right now.
He really is.
You get a sense as someone watching, a hitter watching him, he feels comfortable, he feels aggressive. You got to go up there and swing the bat.
It's the first postseason start, if you're just joining us, for Mike Minor, the 25-year-old left-hander. Facing Mark Ellis here to lead off the 6th. The 0-2.
And the difference in him now than earlier in the ball game is he's putting that finishing pitch. He's making a good 0-2 pitch.
Well, the first couple innings, the Dodgers had 3 two-strike hits, and they have none since. So he is putting them away.
Ellis with a walk and grounded into a double play, and this one's to third. Nice shot for Chris Johnson, 1 down. Well, it's the first postseason game for Mike Minor, not the first big game he's had to pitch in. In fact, he looks back to July of this season and a matchup with Adam Wainwright of the St. Louis Cardinals, and knew at that time this is one of those playoff type games. This is a team that's probably going to be in the postseason, and let's see how he measures up. And pitched well that night, 7 innings, gave up just a solo homer to Yadier Molina. Braves won it 4-1. And here he's pitching in a game that, while it's not an elimination game, it's pretty darn close in a best of 5 if you fall down 2-0 at home.
You know, it was obvious that he was nervous in the beginning. That's probably why he was bouncing a lot of his pitches. But he's found a rhythm, like Cal said, and trying to ride that wave. The Braves countered with the middle of their lineup producing a run. Let's see what the Dodgers can do with the middle of their lineup.
It's a big inning for the offense here. They know how tough the bullpen is and how challenging it is. If you're Hanley, you're thinking, okay, this is my time to do something right here. This is my last chance at him.
Ramirez did get something done his first trip. He doubled and knocked in Mark Ellis as the Dodgers scored in the first.
Minor has been outstanding with all the teams that are in the postseason from the National League. He has rose to the occasion against the good ball clubs.
2-0 pitch. That foul right there, back to the screen, and the count 2-1.
I mean, Mike Minor doesn't know this number, but we know this number because of the great Hal DeLemer, our stat guy. But the Braves are 71-5 when they lead after 6 innings. That's how good their bullpen has been all year.
And believe me, the offense knows how good their bullpen is. It does. You heard
that ringing shot into the corner and left. Ramirez is at second, and Gaddis hustles it in. And that's the second double of the night for Hanley Ramirez, his third of this series.
Line drive down the line. Wasn't playing close to the line in a doubles situation or no double situation. A little early for that. Hanley takes advantage of it and hits his second double.
Ball makes a different sound when it comes off the bat with Ramirez.
So he's the tying run at second. And you've got a great RBI guy up there right now in Adrian Gonzalez, who knocked in 100 in the regular season and hit a 2-run homer last night. Tonight he's 1 out of 2 and takes a strike. 0-1. A look at our BMW clear advantage, and you see where Adrian Gonzalez, which makes him so dangerous. He will hurt you at all fields. 86 to right, 81 to left and center. Count even, a ball and a strike.
Adrian always has a plan. He hit a breaking ball last time up. First 2 pitches are hard stuff fastballs. Wouldn't surprise me if he looks for a fastball more towards the inside of the plate.
Ramirez at second with a 1-out double. Gonzalez steps out. Found it interesting too when he met with Don Mattingly today, talking about what he notices when Gonzalez makes contact at the plate.
Yeah, at first, from a hitting instructor standpoint, he thought he was a little bit long, on his swing. But now he's had a chance to see him up close and personal. He's not slow in a slow bat sense. He's long through the strike zone. Many guys that can get in and out of the strike zone, they grip the bat a little bit differently. But Agon's bat stays in the strike zone a long time.
His home run in Game 1 to straightaway center field. Takes a breaking pitch on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Benefit of the doubt there from Marvin Hudson.
That's a key pitch because the 1-1 count can go to 2-1 or 1-2. Just a little off the plate. Good pitch. Now he's defensive.
Got him.
What a great sequence of pitches. Slider away, catches the corner, and a sinking fastball down and in. Not much to hit in that at bat. They tried to pitch Puig in. You have to be careful though. First pitch. Cannot miss your spot. 551 he hits on the first pitch. 9 home runs.
He's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and takes a strike there. Minor didn't have a strikeout through the first 3 innings. 4 of the last 8 outs have been K's. And he would like nothing better than to get a huge one here with the tying run at second.
Yasiel thought that was inside just a little bit, shaking his head. Got to get his focus and confidence back.
On the ground, slowly hit. Johnson. No, it's late. No argument from the Atlanta side. Puig beat it by a hair.
From our angle up here, I thought he beat it too, but now we get the benefit of seeing it in slow motion. Very, very close, but I think the tie goes to the runner.
Yeah, that's the bang bang play.
Yep, he's safe.
Johnson did everything you can do, just run the floor like down that first baseline for Puig.
So an infield hit with 2 down keeps the Dodger rally alive. They're at first and third now for Juan Uribe.
I got to believe it's a lot easier to hit 300 when you can run that fast.
I said in his last at bat, Uribe is one of the toughest guys to face because there's no book. He can hit bad pitches. He can hit pitches out of the strike zone. You could set him up for inside. He doesn't know you set him up.
Down even, a ball and a strike.
Two straight changeups.
Uribe with the second most games of playoff experience on this Dodger roster. Michael Young leads Uribe in 31 postseason games, and he's got 2 rings with the White Sox and the Giants. And this is a big at bat here in game 2.
McCann with the sign. He gave it twice, even after a shakeup by Minor. That was interesting. Gave a sign. Minor shook it off. He gave it again, and Minor decided to go with it. And I think that's a good move by McCann. You don't want your pitcher like 50% behind the pitch. You want him 100% behind the pitch he wants to throw.
There's a shade around there. He couldn't see the pitch. And he told him to actually make sure that he could see it. So he put it down a little lower.
Had him fooled. 1 and 2.
And I agree. You have to be 100% sure of what you're getting from the pitcher at that time. But you can see that McCann gave the signals a little bit lower in the light.
Well, at this point last night, the Braves were pretty much done. And tonight, a totally different story. They're on their feet here and trying to will the 3rd out of the 6th inning and keep the Braves on top. Ramirez, the runner at 3rd. He doubled with 1 out. Puig, the runner at 1st. Infield hit with 2 down. Ryan McCann asked for help. But John Hirschbeck says he didn't go.
Not even close, Cal.
No, I was thinking I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it.
Bounced it up there, and we were very close to a tie game. But McCann got a piece and kept it in front.
Yeah, I just saw him walk out in front of home plate, touch the line down the 3rd baseline so that you could see his fingers a little bit better.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Puig can take off with the pitch. A ball in the gap would give him a chance to score. Popped out of play. We're going to do it again.
There he is, just getting on the outside of his hand, like you said, Cal.
Many times catchers will paint their fingernails, you know, to show that, and many times there's stickers now that glow in the dark that they put on the outside of their fingernails so you can see the difference in the fingers.
Another huge pitch in this game. And Uribe waves at him. Big strikeout for Mike Minor in the 6th. Head to the bottom half. Braves still lead 2-1. The spectacular aerial coverage tonight provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Bottom half of the 6th inning as Justin Upton leads it off. That was big time stuff by Mike Minor in the top half of the inning. 1st and 3rd, and struck out Uribe to end the threat. Right back at Greinke. Time to check in across town here in Atlanta with Keith Olbermann, KO. Thank you, Keith. Wow, what a strange image. Remember earlier today, before our game, I said, what just happened in the Red Sox game? And so that's what it was. Wow.
It's a good thought that somebody might have said, I got it, you know, and he heard that and then peeled off. But he said no.
He saw something.
He saw something else. What could that be?
Dead people. No, I don't know.
Dead people. 2 balls and no strikes. Guys, I got to work with up here. Freddie Freeman, big cut. Came up empty, 2-1.
Remember the last time he got 2-0, hit that bullet off the right field wall. 2-0. Zach Greinke decided, no, I'm going to throw a slider on this pitch.
Freeman doubled in the 4th. Scored the go-ahead run. Braves scored 1 in the 2nd. Andrelton Simmons a run-scoring double. And they broke the 1-1 tie in the 4th when Chris Johnson delivered his 2nd RBI of the series. And that's where we stand, 2-1, bottom 6. Well hit, but foul.
It's that pitch that is hard to keep fair because it's so far in on the hands of Freeman. We saw Greinke do that with Heyward. He featured that pitch in and off the plate and then countered with the backdoor breaking ball.
Fastball up. No, I want the slider. There it is. Good call, Ronnie.
Nice job by Freddie Freeman. That's how you hit 319. He's laughing at his swing.
You know, when they say that hitters have the ability to spoil that pitch, just foul it off, I always think, no, they're not just fouling off. That's a reaction, an emergency swing, just to get the bat to the ball. And you're glad that you fouled that off.
Fastball up.
Change up.
Again, Freeman battling Greinke, and it stays 2-2.
2 tough pitches. Good battle right here.
A.J. Ellis is talking to Freddie Freeman back and forth of how you fouling those pitches off.
Does he trust himself to come in with a fastball?
The fastball up is the pitch.
First option fastball in, second option fastball away.
It's away and it missed. Full count.
There's some small little signs. Zach has no problem seeing that.
On deck hitter Evan Gattis. As Greinke goes to work on the Braves MVP candidate Freddie Freeman. After Ellis at second, that's an easy play, and that's 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. That battle was won by Greinke. You want to know the secrets of being a home run hitter? Tim Ferriss will show you how to knock it out of the park. Go to upwave.com/baseball. Tim Ferriss ever take you deep, Ron?
He gave up about 250 of them, so he might be on the list.
Two down from the White Bear. Evan Gattis singled in the 2nd and scored the first Atlanta run. And he grounded out to 3rd in the 4th.
Evan really covers the fastball in the inside part. So I don't blame Greinke for not trying to come in there with the fastball.
The fashionable El Oso Blanco headwear.
Well, we have one coming.
Uribe gloves it and throws across, and that's a 1-2-3 sixth for Greinke. 6 innings in the books in Atlanta. Upcoming schedule is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Game 1 of this series last night, taken by the Dodgers 6-1. Game 3 is going to be at Chavez Ravine on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern. If they need a Game 4, 9:30 Eastern on Monday from L.A. Skip Schumacher leads it off here in the 7th. Braves trying to tie this series at a game apiece, and they lead it 2-1. Minor missed with the fastball at 91 miles an hour. He's got 5 strikeouts. Then a couple of big double play balls that have helped Minor out. One in the second, one in the third. Schumacher grounded into one of those.
He's just not leaving too many balls over the center of the plate, is he?
A tapper off the glove of Minor. Simmons made the throw, but late. And the Dodgers have the leadoff runner on here in the 7th. Just nicked off the glove of Minor.
It's one of those plays, if you have the wherewithal, you can let it go because the shortstop is going to make that play. But as an athlete, you're trying to make it.
It was a good attempt here and a great play by Freeman to make this smother. I tell you what, he caught that in between with his bare hand, an in between hop, and probably didn't have the right grip on the ball.
Play you always say never to do, slide into first, but it seems hard to do. And that close play. Very nice. Good call there by Minor. Throws to first base. Ellis gave away that he's going to be bunting the baseball.
Ellis is 1 out of 2. Yeah,
that's the whole purpose of the throw over there, and make it look believable too, so you can reveal what the intentions of the hitter at home plate is.
He squares again and lays it down. Good bunt. Only play to first, and Schumacher advances to second.
Just a simple throw over revealed the bunt, but it didn't matter because Ellis on the next pitch, textbook bunt.
Well, the night is going to end for Zach Greinke as Michael Young has been announced as a pinch hitter. And the night is also going to end for Mike Minor. And what a postseason debut. Goes 6 1/3. Having allowed 1 run as he departs, and the runner at second is his, and they're on their feet here in Atlanta. National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Over the last 24 hours or so, not many close games in the postseason, but this has been a dandy here in Atlanta. We're in the 7th inning of a 2-1 game, and the wheels turning on both sides between Fredi Gonzalez and Don Mattingly. The night over for Zach Greinke and for Mike Minor. As the Braves have gone to the pen, and Luis Ayala appears for the 2nd straight game. He had a great outing in the opener, Ronnie.
Got out of a bases loaded situation. It walked intentionally, skipped Schumacher, and then struck out A.J. Ellis and the pitcher Clayton Kershaw. Older pitcher. Can he do it back to back?
35 years old. Appeared in 37 games in the regular season with an ERA of 2.90.
So if you say he's old, how old do you say you are?
Oh, ancient. I called myself a dinosaur last night. How far do I have to go?
Back a couple of millennia.
Yeah.
Michael Young will pinch hit here with a runner at second. And he takes upstairs 1-0.
Had a really good sinker last night. Ball was really going down.
His goal last night was to try to keep the Dodgers where they were and keep that game within reach. Tonight, he's trying to maintain an Atlanta lead.
Different kind of hitter, though. Very aggressive, Michael Young. Great fastball hitter. Ayala counters with the slider. Good pitch.
And we were talking to Fredi Gonzalez before the game about that point of the game when Ayala came on, got out of that bases loaded. It's 5-1 at the time. And you wonder if maybe that kind of a spark on the defensive side maybe ignite something on the offensive side. But the Braves came in, went 3 up, 3 down. In fact, Kershaw struck out the side, and then the Dodgers tacked on a run in their next half to make it 6-1, and it was game, set, match. The 1-1. On the ground, wide of first. Tough play, and they did not make it. Ayala couldn't find the bag.
You've got to take a path there as a pitcher that puts you right on the lane to touch the bag. What happened to Ayala? He was going to catch the throw and then find the bag. Too late by then. Step, miss, late.
And the result, runners on the corners with 1 out in a 1-run game. Cal, we started the night talking about cleaning up your game. Those little things that you look back on and say you can improve on. And we've got to go to a break, but we'll get into that because there's one of those things you might look back on depending on how this thing plays out down the stretch. MLB Network is your home for another Division Series game Monday. Catch live coverage before and after every postseason game only on MLB Tonight. Check local listings or go to MLBnetwork.com for game time and channel number.
Well, Luis Avilan has been so good this season. They needed him to be great. They lost Eric O'Flaherty and Johnny Venters. They're two great left-handers, but look at his numbers this season. Doesn't get much better than that.
He enters in a 1st and 3rd situation, tying run at 3rd. Top of the order, Carl Crawford.
Here's the personal scouting report to Carl Crawford from Gonzalez, giving him his game plan.
Great shot by our guys.
How good were you at reading lips? I couldn't get that.
Runners lead from 1st and 3rd.
I would think he says he's got a good riding fastball, in on your hands, late movement.
Well, he's dominated left-handed hitters all season long. They're batting 144 off him. But we saw those inherited runners, 24, 7 scored.
Even though we couldn't read lips, you know what I got out of that little bit of encouragement or information from Gonzalez was just the sense of urgency here in the 7th inning of game 2. And Crawford behind 1 and 2.
3 straight fastballs, 2 being in. Last one on the outside half. Had a lot of sink or a lot of movement to it late. Can't get a punch out unless you get 2 strikes, but now you got to make a pitch.
Right back at him. He's going to go for 2. There's 1. There's 2. An inning-ending double play. 1-6-3 with the tying run at 3rd. Simmons with the relay to Freeman, and Atlanta holds on to the lead. Seventh inning stretch here in Atlanta. Boy, what a game this has been. 3 double plays have bailed the Braves out, and this was huge.
This is a fantastic play. You make this play thinking about the options before they happen. If a quick ball comes back to me, let me go for 2. Even though Crawford is really fast, and Simmons turns this double play, almost waited a little bit too long, but what an execution. What a play. Most pitchers would take that out at home. It's a safe play to say, let's get the guy in a rundown. Let me try to get him out. What a play.
If they don't turn that, Schumacher scores the tying run. As it turns out, we go to the bottom of the 7th with Atlanta maintaining that 2-1 lead.
And what a pickup after you don't execute the play at first base. That's a big lift.
Chris Withrow, the second Dodger pitcher. He comes on in relief of Zach Greinke, who worked the first 6.
Well, you see that opponent average. That is the big thing for Withrow. A big, hard thrower, and has dominated right-handed hitters. I think you're right, Cal. If you're any infielder, and we'll include the pitcher, Avilan there, you've got to know in your mind, if I get a real quick comebacker, you've already set it in there. That's where I'm going to go. Beautiful play.
In these pressure situations, you remind yourself, okay, what type of balls that you are going to get, and then you react to them. So you have to be thinking about that first. Let me get that double play. If it comes right back to me, I'm going right to second. Anything else, I got to look the runner back or get him in a rundown.
Yeah, if it's not hit hard back to you, then you got to get the runner in a rundown.
Makes it that much more precise when you got a guy who can run like Carl Crawford at the plate. It was a huge play by the Atlanta Braves.
See Greg Walker talking to his hitters. A little sink, a little slide. So sinker, slider, pitcher. Walking them through Chris Withrow's entire repertoire.
The pitch tracks brought to us by Chevrolet.
As you get these guys in the bullpen, they really don't have a lot of times a third pitch. They are a 2-pitch pitcher coming in and throwing as hard as they can.
That 1% you see is the time that he thought about throwing. It didn't actually happen. What about the fun tomahawks, the fun fingers? Miley Cyrus would love this joint. Bottom of the 7th. Brian McCann's going to lead it off against Chris Withrow. Big guy, 6'4", 215. First postseason game. McCann's 0 for 2. Looking for his first hit of the series. He was 0 for 3 in the opener with a strikeout and a walk. Marvin Hudson calling time and now ready to go. Five, 6, and 7 hitters due for the Braves here in the 7th.
Withrow gets a little under that fastball. That's why it runs up and away from the left-hander.
There's a changeup, Ern.
I stand corrected.
It's the 1% pitch.
You see the Dodgers and the Braves have been the best, making a little count for more.
Little low bridge to McCann, 3-1.
Missing bad with the fastball, up and away and up and in.
Full count, 3-2. Withrow, a first-round pick. 2007, number 20 overall by the Dodgers. Started a lot of games in the minor leagues through 2012 and had 26 appearances out of the Dodger pen this year. There's last night's stud, Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers with that shift on once again against the Braves catcher. Ball 4. Leadoff hitter on here in the bottom of the 7th. This is the first walk allowed by Dodger pitching tonight. And the Braves have only walked 1. And they're going to run for Brian McCann. B.J. Upton checks in.
Tells you a little bit about how important Freddie Gonzalez thinks adding another run as opposed to taking out your number 1 catcher in a close game.
You got to manage a little different in the postseason. I like having my number 1 catcher there.
Me too.
Chris Johnson stands in. 1 out of 2. He's knocked in a run. And Withrow just looks up and back. Johnson's RBI came in the 4th. Broke a 1-1 tie as he knocked in Freddie Freeman, who had doubled to open the inning. Held off. 0-1.
Well, no sacrifices for Johnson this year. He had 321. We want him swinging the bat. But in a season where everything has gone wrong for B.J. Upton and all the speed he has, you'd like to see him steal a base early in this count.
Yeah, big leg kick, worth the risk.
No balls, 1 strike. National League's 2nd leading hitter at the plate, Chris Johnson.
The one equalizer in all of this is A.J. Ellis, throwing out 44% of would-be base stealers this year. That's an outstanding number.
And in a year where he has struggled, B.J. Upton in the previous 5 years had stolen 44, 42, 42, 36, 31. Only 12 bags this year and caught stealing 5 times. Not going. Broken back. Single into left. They're at first and second. Johnson got sawed off but muscled it into left field.
Off the end of the bat. Strong enough to get that into the outfield. You can see all the infielders coming in to talk to the pitcher Withrow, trying to align their defense. What they're going to do here. No outs. First and second. Simmons up. Good bunter.
That's Paco Rodriguez. The left-hander. Don Mattingly, pitching coach Rick Honeycutt.
So the conversation basically said, what bump play we got going on? But then it might be, okay, what do I do then? Am I charging? You can either bring the third baseman charging in. Most of the time, as a conservative play, the third baseman stays back. The pitcher has his side. Looks like Agon's going to be a little bit more aggressive if there is a bunt.
Uribe and Gonzalez both on the grass. And Simmons squares, gets it down, foul.
So bunting it to the third base is where you want to bunt that if you see Agon coming. But they also, as a play, you can have a wheel play, and everybody's charging. And the key to that would be to look at the shortstop to see if he's moving towards third base.
Then you got to swing the bat.
Then the whole middle of the field is wide open. You got to make that decision pretty early.
Yeah. Chris Withrow, first postseason appearance. That's what you're not sure what you're going to get. You've seen these young pitchers in the regular season, but their first postseason appearance in a 2-1 game in an unfriendly park, you never know.
Braves dodged a bullet in the top half. Dodgers trying to do the same here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
It looks like the same play zone again. Hanley's trying to fake it.
Somehow he got that bunt down. And they throw him out, but the runners move up to second and third. That ball was up and in, and Simmons laid the bunt down.
Great bunt.
If he didn't bunt the ball, it would have been a hit by pitch. Just had enough of getting on top of that ball that it moved forward instead of backwards.
And a big moment now for Elliott Johnson, who was 0 for 6 in the series, starting at second base in place of Dan Uggla. Runners lead from second and third. Jose Constanza has a bat in the on-deck circle.
You got to be aware of the squeeze play. It's not as a popular a play anymore, but it is a possibility. And you don't have to have a fast runner on third, which they do, to run that.
Well, we know the outfield. Crawford does not have a great arm. Schumacher has more of an infield arm, and Puig, maybe the best arm in the league.
Dodgers all in on the edge of the grass in a 2-1 game. Grounded foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, good shot of BJ. There is a version of the contact play on that pitch. So he was going to go on any ball hit. And if the ground ball's hit just to either side, he's getting off right here, taking his secondary, and all of a sudden he's off. He's off on contact. And if the ball is to either side, a fast runner can make that play at home plate.
He's got to make sure that's on the ground and not a line drive.
Well, many times if you are doing the contact play, you're going on contact. You got to get the best possible jump, and you could be doubled off.
Off speed, got him looking. 2 down.
Well, he went right after him. Fastball supposed to be in, it's running up and away. A little late. Another fastball in that he pulls foul. His best contact, and then the curveball that just buckles him.
So here comes Constanza to pinch hit.
You don't see this very often, but you have great speed at third. Constanza, a big part of his game, and I know there's 2 outs, is bunting the baseball. He's got great speed. You don't see it a lot with 2 outs, but you could here.
Don Mattingly is going to go to the pen. Withrow came on here in the 7th in relief of Greinke. Well, you see Jose's reaction to the Don Mattingly decision as Withrow exits. And they go to the left-hander out of the pen. We'll be back. Nervous night here in Atlanta. Bottom half of the 7th inning in a 2-1 game. Braves trying to tie the series at a game apiece. And Paco Rodriguez, the left-hander, has entered the fray, the third Dodger pitcher of the night.
Well, one of the National League's best relievers all season long. Numbers are outstanding. His best runners in scoring position. Hitters are hitting 146 off Paco.
And Reed Johnson will be walked intentionally. Johnson's been around in his travels. Spent 2010 with the Dodgers. Then at Toronto, the Cubs a couple of times. And the Braves picked him up in 2012.
Well, that's the right move. You just want to get the lefty-lefty matchup. That's the key.
So it'll set up a Jason Heyward, Paco Rodriguez matchup here in the 7th with the bases loaded.
Only caveat to all of this, you hate your reliever to come in, warm up, and his first 4 pitches are out of the strike zone.
So you don't want your reliever developing bad habits?
I don't think it's a bad habit. It's only a tiny little deal. But, you know, you come in, you're smoking hot, can't wait to throw a pitch, and your first 4 are just, you know, lobbing them in there. And now his next pitch, it's got to be flat out.
Heyward is 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs. And caught looking in the 5th. Braves lead from every base. And the breaking pitch misses inside, 1-0.
Very unusual motion for Paco Rodriguez. Takes the ball out of his glove early, almost like he shows it to the hitter, short arms it to the plate.
Breaking pitch missed, it's 2-0.
Well, the danger, you get the matchup you want, but now you got to come to him. You can't walk him. No margin for error.
Feet together, ball out of the glove. 2 sliders for balls.
Here comes the 2-0. Over for a strike, 2-1. The inning began with a walk to Brian McCann. B.J. Upton pinch ran. Chris Johnson single. Andrelton Simmons bunted him over. Elliott Johnson called out on strikes, and then an intentional pass to Reed Johnson, setting up this stage here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 back up the middle, base hit. That's going to score 2. And Jason Heyward has come through with a 2-out, 2-run single. It's 4-1.
Well, he had 2 choices for Rodriguez. He could have gone with the slider or the fastball. He opted for, looked like a cutter away. Slider away. Guy sent him by Heyward.
Geico. Braves with a 4-1 lead. Adding 2 on here in the 7th. In a game that began with Zach Greinke and Mike Minor dueling. And Jason Heyward just moments ago coming through with a big 2-run single here in the bottom half of the 7th. Big piece of hitting in a lefty-lefty matchup and an absolute bullet up the middle. Guy who's had an appendectomy and missed time this year. And see him wearing that guard on his helmet because he took a pitch in the face. And he has delivered a huge hit here in the 7th. Here's Justin Upton against Ronald Belisario. 93 passed him 0-1.
Well, 77 games for Belisario. We're second behind Brad Ziegler in the National League. He's been in now his 7th postseason game. What did Don Mattingly say? You got to make all your moves, then you got to let the athletes take over. Lefty-lefty matchup didn't work.
Upton's 0 for 3 on the night. And the count even. He's 0 for 7 in the series and has struck out twice. Bats now with runners at first and second.
He's got a few good pitches to hit and fouled them off in this series.
Long at bat against Kershaw last night. Couple good at bats.
That could be a sign of just a little bit too excited, getting out just a little too soon.
I do have to say, though, if the Braves are going to win this series, Upton's going to get hot. I'm talking about April hot when he hit 12 home runs. He's got it in him.
His brother has scored a run as a pinch runner in this inning. That foul up by third. There is B.J. Upton, who struck out last night against Clayton Kershaw. Pinch ran from McCann here in the 7th. Scored the 3rd Atlanta run. Chris Johnson scored the 4th. Both crossing the pay station when Jason Heyward delivered a huge bases loaded single.
Looked like Magic wanted to call a timeout on this inning. Give me a 20.
Talked to him before the game. He says he's learned a heck of a lot about baseball just from sitting with Stan Kasten and Tommy Lasorda during ball games. There's Tommy, 63 years with the organization.
How do you know that?
They'll wind it up and do it again with the count 3-2 after Upton gets a new bat.
Didn't like the replacement either.
Oh, it looks like the bat boy might have brought a bat that was already broken. Tried the 3rd model.
Gotta love the speed up rules. Supposed to have 2 bats loaded and ready, just in case you bust one. So you don't have to go all the way back up into the bat lane.
Reed Johnson, the runner at second. Heyward at first. And a 3-2 is due to Justin Upton. They're loaded. didn't see much traffic out of the Dodger dugout in game 1. Don Mattingly wearing out a path here in game 2.
Got 2 more left-handers left for Freddie Freeman. The veteran Capuano did most of the starting this season, and J.P. Howell.
Braves have the Dodgers on the ropes, and Freddie Freeman ready to deliver a knockout. We'll be back. Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Fourth Dodger pitcher of the inning here at the bottom half of the 7th, and it's J.P. Howell.
All 3 relief pitchers that Mattingly has brought in, the first hitter they've faced, they have walked, 1 intentionally. J.P. Howell, though, has a resume of postseason games. This is his 14th, first 13 with Tampa Bay.
Bases loaded. 2 out. Freddie Freeman, who knocked in 109 runs in the regular season. Second most in the NL. On the ground to second. Ellis gobbles it up and throws him out. And that'll do it in the 7th inning. But the Braves add to the lead. Jason Heyward, 2-run single, 4-1. We move to the 8th at Turner Field in Atlanta. Braves on top 4-1, and some changes here in the top half of the 8th. Justin Upton moves from right to left. B.J. Upton stays in the game. He pinch ran and scored. He's in center. And Jason Heyward moves from center to right. Gerald Laird, the new catcher, as Brian McCann was run for. And the new Atlanta pitcher is David Carpenter, who appears for the second straight night.
Well, David Carpenter started as the long man in that bullpen, but he has worked himself up as the setup guy. You see games, that's a career high, record career high, ERA career low.
And the 28-year-old will face Mark Ellis here in the top half of the 8th. Carpenter originally chosen by the Cardinals in 2006, traded to the Astros in 2010. Ball and a strike. Eventually traded to Toronto. And then, as we said, was part of that manager deal with John Farrell coming to Boston. Great ERA of 1.78 in the regular season in 65 2/3 innings. Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves 6 outs away from tying this National League Division Series. 2-2. Ellis has scored the only Dodger run. He walked in the first, and Hanley Ramirez knocked him in with a double to right. Count stays 2-2, and the possibility exists here, certainly, Ron. Carpenter in now. You've got that weapon in the Atlanta bullpen. Craig Kimbrell with his 50 saves. And Freddie Gonzalez has told us wouldn't be afraid to use him in a 4-save or a 4-out opportunity here.
And that's why he's throwing, getting loose, even though Carpenter is facing his first batter. 139 saves for Craig Kimbrell. 137 of them have been 1 inning or less. He's got 2 4-out saves. But Freddie has said he would use them for 4, maybe push it to 5 outs. But he wants a clean inning from Carpenter.
Well, a 3-run lead gives him a little latitude. Ideally, you don't want to bring him in the 8th inning. Keep him fresh.
Payoff pitch fouled back. Only once this year have the Dodgers overcome a deficit of 3 runs or more in the 8th or later to win. They are down 3 here in game 2.
They've been front runners all season long. See those numbers when they're trailing after 7 innings.
Leadoff walk here in the 8th.
We've had 4 relievers on both sides. The first batter they've faced, a walk.
You don't want to walk the table setters. And you got Hanley and Adrian Gonzalez coming up.
So 2 walks given up by Atlanta pitching, and both to the guy on first base, Mark Ellis. And here's Ramirez, who's got a couple of doubles tonight and 3 for the series.
See a lot of backup sliders from Carpenter. That just tells you he's trying to overthrow it. A little different pitching tonight than it was for Carpenter in last night's ball game.
Ball's well hit down the line in left. Keep an eye on it. That ball is gone. Hanley Ramirez connects for a 2-run homer here in the 8th. And all of a sudden, it's a 1-run game.
About a breaking ball that stayed in the middle of the plate, not much break to it, and Hanley knew what to do with it.
But the ability to put that kind of swing on it, keep it fair, and hit it that far, it's lost some power. Carpenter shook off Gerald Laird from a fastball to get to that pitch, and Hanley made him pay.
4-3 in the 8th. And the dangerous Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. Nobody out. And Carpenter rattled.
And that margin for error is gone now. Freddie Gonzalez has to be thinking Kimbrel early tonight.
Almost one-handed that thing out of here. Did Hanley Ramirez.
It's interesting. Your body, if you stay back, and he lifts his leg up high, and if he stays back, it looks like he's out in front, but he stayed back long enough to still whip the bat and get it to carry down the line. He lifts his leg up right there, so there's his body. He's in a good hitting position. Now he gets fooled by the speed, but he still has the ability to extend his arms and hit that ball out.
Count even to Gonzalez, a ball and a strike. Had some big moments here in the last inning and change. The huge double play coached by the Braves in the top half of the 7th. The huge hit by Jason Heyward to knock in 2 and make it a 3-run game. And then the answer by Ramirez here in the 8th. Getting 6 outs never seemed like such a tall task. Punches out Gonzalez for the first out.
Well, huge pitch by Carpenter. Fastball out of the strike zone. Beats him with that 96 miles an hour. We've seen in this series that anything down, Gonzalez has been able to cover. Anything up in the strike zone has been his Achilles heel.
Roger McDowell on the phone to the Atlanta bullpen.
This is what we're going to do, guys.
Or is he ready yet?
Here's Yasiel Puig. I felt that up here, 0-1. Puig's 1 out of 3. It was an infield single he beat out in the 6th. 19 home runs for the Cuban import, and 10 of them from the 7th inning on.
McGuire frustrated with those 2 swings. A kind of all or nothing kind of swings from Puig. He has the ability to just get on base, steal a base, and score a tying run.
That's not just the home run. With those 2 swings, he wanted to go deep. And they said, if you swing at the high one, let's see how high you'll go. I'm saying he sticks with the fastball. He's going to use the fastball up in the strike zone. Might still be in the back of his mind the home run he gave up on the breaking ball. Fastball away.
Back-to-back strikeouts after the 2-run jack.
You're right, Cal. Just stayed with it. And Carpenter throwing hard enough to get it by both Gonzalez and Puig.
That's some giddy up. 96, 97 upstairs. Hard to catch up to.
So Carpenter gives up the bomb and then strikes out 2, and you hear the roar because it's Kimbrough time in Atlanta. Is on Craig Kimbrough. 50 out of 54 in save situations. 1 4-out save this year. Came on August 25th. And he's going to try to do it here in game 2 of the NLDS. Nobody on. 2 down. A 4-3 game.
I don't have to tell you too much about those numbers. 1.21 ERA. 98 punch-outs.
How about the 166 batting against?
Juan Uribe takes, and it's 1-0.
Not giving up too many hits.
Interesting choice there. First pitch slider to Uribe.
What a buzzkill for the fans here. They wanted to see 103. Uribe 1 out of 3 with a strikeout. 100. On the ground to second. Elliott Johnson throws him out. The Dodgers cut into the Atlanta lead. Hanley Ramirez. 2-run jack. 4-3. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Brian Wilson worked a scoreless 8th inning last night in Game 1. Walked the leadoff hitter, then struck out the next 3. And he goes to work here in the 8th against Gerald Laird.
Don Mattingly was talking about Brian Wilson this afternoon and just saying he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. You see his numbers, just a small 13 2/3 innings of work, but still pitching better now than he was when he first joined the team.
Gerald Laird's been to the World Series the last 2 years with the Cardinals, won it all, and went with the Tigers last year. Not the same result. Wilson ahead. A ball and 2 strikes. B.J. Upton on deck. Braves batting in the 8th, leading 4-3. On the ground to second, and Mark Ellis. A routine play for the first out. I'll tell you what, last night may have lacked in dramatic moments. Game 2 has certainly made up for. Big defensive plays, huge at bats. And on the line here, possible 2-0 lead going home for the Dodgers, or the Braves salvaging a split and heading for the West Coast. Here's B.J. Upton.
Wilson showing us a pretty good slider in this second day in a row. Showed us he had a fastball above 95. Slider looks pretty good.
Trying to find some way that you can score a run here for the Braves, make it a little easier on Kimbrel in an unfamiliar situation. Trying to get 4 outs. He's only done it twice.
He got the final out of the 8th on 3 pitches.
I know it's 5 years ago, but no hitter had a better postseason in 2008 than B.J. Upton. 7 home runs and 16 RBI.
And that was on that remarkable Tampa Bay run to the World Series. Beat the Red Sox in the ALCS.
7 games.
Had a good cut. 2-2.
Upton's had one of those seasons you want to forget, but you said it, Cal. Wipe the slate clean. Maybe one good at bat here can get him back in the lineup in Los Angeles.
He's taken some pretty good passes at the last 2 balls.
Missed outside, count full. Just 184 this year and 151 strikeouts. He pinch hit last night, and Kershaw made quick work of it. And he swings and misses. And here's a familiar chorus from the Atlanta fans. 2 down. Keith Olbermann, what's up? All right, KO, kind of like what we did in this game as we started on TNT with the Red Sox running long. Chris Johnson up there with 2 out. He's knocked in a run and scored 1. and has 3 hits in the series. Nice pitch, 1-1.
Wilson was out about 5 hours before the game, doing sprints for about 45 minutes.
The ball and 2 strikes, and that's the thing. The first thing that jumps out at you about him, obviously, is all of the beard and all the stuff and the hair, etc. This guy is an extremely hard worker who takes exceptional pride in his craft.
2 Dodgers, he and Clayton Kershaw, doing his running in the outfield 5 hours before the game.
A 1-2 misses. Count even.
It's a good sign. 2 days in a row, he's still hitting 96. Good sign for the Dodgers.
Full count.
That was that little indoor slider. You throw it right at his hip, try to bend it over the inside corner. Not enough bend in it.
A 1-2-3 inning for Brian Wilson. Couple of Ks in there. We are heading to the 9th. Don't move. All right, thank you, Keith. Top half of the ninth. And Craig Kimbrell trying to notch a 4-out save. Skip Schumacher, a rather impressive 3 for 7. Cal, what was your plan of attack against a guy of this ilk, a guy who really brought it out of the pen?
Start swinging right before he throws it. No, anytime you're facing somebody that has a really good fastball, you want to shorten your swing a little bit. It doesn't surprise me that Shoemaker has a good average against him. He has a nice short swing. Put the bat to the ball, let the power of the guy's arm carry through. Many times you'll see a hitter get too long with his swing because when he faces somebody who throws harder, he goes charging out after it as opposed to letting it go and shortening your swing.
Reminds you of anyone? Kimbrell?
Yeah, Troy Percival.
Good call.
He has that
same kind of body,
same sort of look. And they both had similar stuff, 100-mile-an-hour fastball with a hard breaking ball.
Strike 3 to Schumacher. 1 down in the ninth.
Nasty slider. After that pitch, we're always supposed to talk about a reliever who comes in, gets a big out, has to sit for a while and come back out, and how that could affect him after that pitch. I'm not going to talk about it.
That's too big of a break to call a slider, isn't it? That's a hard curveball, hard breaking ball. A good spin, good downward spin to it.
A.J. Ellis swinging a good bat in this series. Had a couple of doubles in the opener. Single tonight. Also dropped down a sacrifice bunt.
How about if we just use Kimbrell, curve with a K? That'll be his new one.
And another one out of the past, Dwayne Ward. A little similarity.
Former Brave, former Blue Jay.
He had more kind of sink on his fastball.
Yeah, run, sink.
Yep.
Heavy ball.
Andre Ethier's got a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Ellis waiting on a 1-1 from Kimbrell.
Ellis had a little better swing on that one, not so late. Is Kimbrell counter with the slider now, or the slurve, or the curve with a K? I'm not sure.
Two options: stay up high with the fastball, or go to the breaking ball. I think he's going to go with the breaking ball. That's a biter too. 89, that big a break. That's filthy.
Kimbrell was the unanimous Rookie of the Year in 2011 at 46 saves. He saved 42 last year, 50 in 54 chances this season. Three balls and 2 strikes. Good at bat by Ellis.
There's a lot of fight in both these teams, isn't it?
It's got to be the 100-mile-an-hour fastball now, doesn't it?
And he missed up high, and the tying run is at first with 1 out here in the ninth.
Great at bat.
Dodgers will pinch run D. Gordon. And they'll pinch hit Andre Ethier.
Gordon, the shortstop by trade, but on this postseason roster because of his speed, his ability to steal a base.
And that can be a valuable weapon against a closer. You're not going to string together too many hits. If you can get somebody into scoring position, it only takes one.
Ethier's 0 for 7 career against Kimbrell. Gordon swiped 10 bags this year, caught twice.
pretty quick move over there by Craig.
He's got a pretty quick move, but he's pretty slow to the plate.
Yeah, he's not going to,
except for the 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
There he goes. Throw by Laird. They got him! Gerald Laird threw him out.
quick release. And Simmons with a nice pick.
It was a nice pick, but he's safe.
If he has the tag on his butt, he's out. If he waited to see it at his foot, he's safe. What a call.
The count is 1-0 to Ethier.
It's whether he caught that ball while it was on his backside,
right,
or if he had to take the tag off later.
I don't know which reaction was better, Gordon in disbelief or Laird after gunning him down.
Simmons made a great catch, keeping the tag down there and picking the ball at the same time. Normally there's a tendency to lift the glove when you pick the ball. Great catch, great tag.
The Braves are a strike away from evening the series.
Here's the pick and catched it right on him. He could be out.
And you saw Simmons with the leg in there in front of the bag.
Tough angle to tell when his hand got there. But if he catches the ball right there at his hip, he's out.
Upstairs, he missed 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Bill Miller's defense, we've seen it a couple times now. Still don't know.
What a wonderful play. Lets the ball get into the runner, picks it and keeps the tag on him.
Is that why you have veteran catchers on the bench? Just for those moments.
Kimbrel facing Ethier. Full count.
This might be a good angle here to see where his hand is. Here's the pick. If it's on his, yep. If it's on his hip or it's on his butt, looks like he grazed it. His hand's not there yet. If he missed that part and the tag went to his back of his foot or his leg, he's safe.
Another 9th inning walk by Kimbrel. The Laird throw bailed him out of the first one. But again, the tying run is on here in the 9th.
Well, Roger McDonald's going to come out to speak to Kimbrel. What I find interesting about that play is that we watch a catcher try to steal a strike and they'll bring it back over the plate. Well, when we watch Simmons there, if he applied the tag the first time, why did he reach back and try to tag him on the foot?
That's a good question. He's just trying to catch it and hold it down. The 2 areas, he did make contact for sure. We could see that at one angle, but did he make the early contact around his hip? And I believe he did.
Just an outstanding play by Simmons.
As an infielder, you let the ball travel because it's got speed. You don't reach up and catch it and then try to make the tag go back. Let it get into the baseline and catch it and then put the tag on.
Ball faster than your hand.
Pinch runner at first is Scott Van Slyke. Carl Crawford, the leadoff hitter, at the plate against Kimbrel. Crawford's 1 out of 4 tonight. Hit into one of the 3 double plays the Braves have turned. And that was perhaps the biggest defensive play of the night in the 7th. Up until Gerald Laird moments ago. No balls and 2 strikes. 1-2 to Crawford.
Boy, A.J. Ellis and now Crawford have laid off some nasty breaking balls.
And it's like the tying run is at first. Crawford waiting on a 1-2. Just stayed alive.
Not much of a chance of Van Slyke trying to steal. He had to run for Ethier because Ethier can't run right now, so he's there to score on a ball in the gap. But if you look at the outfielders right now, where is any gaps? They're playing really deep to defend against any doubles.
Did he go? No, he did not.
It's the right call, even though everybody wants it to be the other call.
Tim Welke said he held up. And it's 2-2.
Let's take a look at it in slow motion.
Ooh. 48,000 might be right.
Series is tied. What a night here in Atlanta. From one dramatic pitch to the next. And the Braves win it. 4-3. The best of 5 tied. And a game apiece.
I think it starts with Mike Minor pitching a game of his life, 6 1/3 innings, turned it over to the bullpen. Hanley Ramirez a double and a home run, 3 doubles in the series. Fantastic game.
Hey, matter of execution. They didn't play a good game last night, but they played a terrific game tonight. A lot of double plays that tag in the end. They deserve to win.
Final score: the Atlanta Braves 4, the Los Angeles Dodgers 3. Greg Kimbrell gets the save. Series tied. Coming up next, game 1 of the ALDS between the Tigers and the A's. Now let's send it to Don Orsillo in Oakland.